Have you guys seen the post yet? Team update, letter to the community. Oh, it's actually like a letter to the community. Okay. Our teams at Amazon Games. Our teams at Amazon Games and Smilegate RPG met recently and discussed player feedback, share insights, and talk about the next steps in Lost Ark in the West. The dust hasn't settled yet, and our teams have a lot of work on the horizon to materialize these conversations, but we wanted to share our thoughts and plans with you. We'd like to start off with a huge thank you from both our teams before we dive in. The love and dedication shown by so many while playing Lost Ark has been inspirational. While we are extraordinarily grateful to see the excitement around recent updates, we understand that you are still experiencing inconveniences and pain points in the game. True. Last year, our top priorities were introducing content into the western shores of Arcadia at an appropriate cadence to avoid burnout, working to pull forward quality of life changes, and waging the war on bots. Now our goal is to continually improve the Lost Ark experience while layering in the exciting content that has yet to arrive. Many updates and changes are required to achieve this goal, and that's only half of it. To constantly work on creating a better game, we need to listen to our player base and ensure you feel heard so we can build a better game together. We recognize that we've fallen short of accomplishing our desired relationship. Like the game itself, our current goal is to continue to grow, improve, and foster a better connection. As we work to set the best course of the rest of 2023 and beyond, you'll find some of our thoughts and plans below. These are focused on areas of player feedback and direction of goals, not content coming to Arcadia over the coming months. While you still might find one or two spoilers, we'll be following up with the 2023 roadmap, which they confirmed for next week. The war against bots. One of our top priorities over the last year was taking care of the bot problem, which honestly they've done a really good job with. If you guys look at recent like player counts, if you look at like in-town stuff, you barely see bots, at least on my server. It's actually just real players sitting by the honing bench AFK. Enormous effort was made on both Smilegate RPG and Amazon part, and together we implemented a variety of changes to restrict bots from exploiting the system to gain economic benefits. During this process, we realized new players may be hindered from progression, like not getting enough gold for honing. We'll keep an eye on these unwanted side effects and actively work to resolve them. Yeah, there's some thing that they implemented, right? Like listing limits. They like removed like gold early on from a lot of these sources. They removed like tradable items from like early completion stuff like Bridge and English Island. Like all these things that you would do as a new player to help you get gold to hone up, those all got removed because bots were abusing it. And that is true, right? It made it harder for new players to get caught up. Even with the implementation of like the honing buffs and like the reduction to silver and everything else. Many technical measures have been deployed and tested and will continue to invest in future measures. Specific tactics can't be revealed for security reasons, but we can assure you that we are keenly monitoring bot activity problems and are ready to respond to their modified activity. While it will be difficult to ever completely remove bots from Lost Ark, we made significant progress in limiting the impact they have on gameplay and the economy. With new measures and constant bandwidth, our changes have led to 55 billion bot gold removed from the game. Holy shit. And 99% decrease in bots interacting with the economy. That's insane. They removed 55 billion gold from the economy from bots and 99% decreased bot activity, which you probably can see in like your day-to-day activity and stuff. After we implement additional changes next month, we're planning to share an article with more updates on our progress and approach. Opening the gates to new players. Okay, so this is the big one. Even with the implementation of like express events and different honing things, the gap between new players and current content just keeps on getting larger and larger, and it's intimidating and off-putting to a lot of new players. It's probably one of Lost Ark's biggest problems right now, because you don't have new players re-supplementing old players leaving the game. It's just basically, right, so Lost Ark right now, we do have some Makokos and stuff like that, but basically you have your dedicated player base that's been playing for a while. Once they leave or quit, you don't really get that many new players coming in. Okay, let's see what they say about opening the gates to new players. What is happening here? However, we still think new players embarking on their first adventure in Arcadia every day. However, versions vertical content update cadence is significantly faster than the original version in Korea. That is true. We noticed that new players find it hard to catch up to the content level. 1 year after launch, new returning player, they're having difficulty adjusting to reaching combo level 50. Well, combo level 60, right? Oh, 50, 60, I don't know. Maybe 50. Learning lead journey patterns, setting up for raid requirements to address. We will cut down on unnecessary content exhausting new and returning players, starting with low tier improvements. In order to enjoy Legion raids, 4 gear progression steps are currently required. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 3, 1340. Too many honing steps are overwhelming to new and casual players alike. Having repetitive gear progression systems seems unnecessary. We plan to integrate them into 2 tiers. Oh wow, so that's actually a huge game change. So they're redoing the tiering system. Guardian, first time clear in Tower Wars will be enhanced to be on par with the integration, so players will not have to play each tier's content multiple times. Horizontal content improvements. So far we've been focusing mainly on improving and leading honing difficulties. However, new players are also suffering from collecting horizontal materials. This is so true. So I did my fresh start on Europe. This was one of the main issues, like getting your skill points, getting all your runes, doing all your horizontal stuff takes forever. And a lot of new players don't have that time, right? And these things are kind of like expected in order to get into a raid. This is the roadmap. No, this is not a roadmap. This is like a community mission statement. However, new players are also suffering collecting horizontal materials. To improve their experience, we plan to make collecting runes, tripod, cards, gems easier for everybody. Oh, okay. Reveal some of the things we have in mind. New uncommon runes will be added in the early progression period to help new players acquire and use runes more easily. The new deep dive and have your plan set collecting difficulty will be improved. Hey, we were actually talking about this earlier today, where they implemented this, and you know, it's I'm guessing they're probably going to enhance the bonuses of it. Yeah, it's so funny that they mentioned this. We were literally talking about this earlier in the stream. And sailing content will be changed, which will improve co-op quests and enhance rewards.
Wow.
I'm guessing what they mean is like less dependency on other players to do events, because right now a lot of players that have already completed island content don't go back to those islands, and if there's not new players doing the island, you can't do that content on that island, especially with the different gates and stuff, right? If you're trying to do your maps, right, and you're trying to acquire them, you have to go do sailing missions, you have to go do the gates. A lot of times there's no one's there. Death Island, yeah, so there's a lot of horizontal where people have already completed and there's not people that still need or even care about it, so you can't even complete it if you wanted to. As you probably know, we introduced Silver Honing System in March update. We will continually expand the levels that system covers to ensure players can easily progress on new classes and all. The expanded Silver Honing System will come with the next class launch. We also cut down the requirements for 2 of the most needed materials, silver and honor shard, to make progression easier. Looking forward, we are currently contemplating methods to improve engraving / gem setting difficulty for alts, and we'll let you know when decided what we develop. Okay, quality of life update. We recently made triport activation roster bound, so once the triport is activated, every character in the roster can benefit from it. Moving forward, we'll also work on reducing other unnecessary and time-consuming activities while progressing alts. I wonder if they remove like unlimited knowledge transfer. They have that in Korea, right? Unlimited knowledge transfer and instant knowledge transfer. I'm guessing that they're probably going to put that in our region soon. For example, having to play through story quests after completing them with the main character is an issue. Knowledge transfer is in a place to let players skip this inconvenience, but due to many restrictions, it's difficult for actual new players to use. To address this, we're working on alleviating the restriction conditions. So yeah, I'm guessing it's like the KR update stuff. Improving the battle item experience. Oh shit! The funniest thing, we were having issues with battle items yesterday where players, we're just doing quick raid, people don't use battle items. Okay, so you got the community letter here. While looking through the various suggestions players have given us, we noticed there were issues with acquiring using battle items in earlier tiers. We rated this as the critical issue, and after discussing with the developers, we plan to change the system to let players use battle items for free in early Guardian raids. Hey! The thing is, you usually don't have enough players in the early Guardian raids, right? So I think what they're hoping with this system and these changes is to make it a lot easier for new players to start the game and to incentivize them. This is really good for new players because battle items are expensive. Crystals are expensive. New players aren't getting enough gold, right, at those early levels to just get, use the exchange, get crystals and use battle items. So yeah, this is actually a really good change for new players. Along with providing battle items for free, we'll add a guide to help players out with the appropriate use of battle items. Thank you for the great suggestion. We are always open to more ideas. These will take some time to develop, but we're hoping to repair them by the end of summer or early fall. We will implement the improvements as soon as they are completed, and thank you for your patience in the meantime. Player exhaustion, learning and dailies. Okay. Along with the content mentioned above, frequent content updates are leading to enhanced exhaustion and gatekeeping. It is the worst it's ever been in Lost Ark. Last week, I tried to pug some stuff, right, just to see how it was, and it was terrible. Like having everything done appropriately for your character. It's hard to get in a raid, even with the titles, achievements. Everyone's like expecting people to be overhoned, right? if you expect to get into a raid on item level, it ain't gonna happen most of the time. People are expecting you to be like 10, 20 item levels above any piece of content at this point. It don't matter if you got deathless titles, hell mode titles, you got completion titles, your gear quality is good, you got 5x3, you got good gems, you got LOS. That bar to get into the raids is going up. People are looking for, you know, LOS 30. People are looking for level 9, level 10 gems. They're looking for only hell mode achievement stuff, where you're just trying to get a normal raid and people want you to be doing no hell mode deathless stuff, right, just to get in. The best way to help progression is providing appropriate content for players' current level of play. From this point of view, Argos is an extremely difficult raid, considering it's one of the first raids that the new player encounters, without having enough time to adjust to Arcasia. When the progression adjustments listed above take place, players will get to enter Argos raid much earlier in the game. To alleviate the burden, mechanics in the Argos raid is a must. Oh, they're going to lower the item level requirement of Argos. We will reduce the number of patterns in the raid to ease the learning curve and change most of the white mechanics to plain damage dealing ones. Well, yeah, Argos, right? In order to complete it, you have to know certain mechs or a white mechanic will be introduced. That requires you to, one, either do a progression raid or watch guide beforehand and communicate to new players. So if you're not bussing and people actually are on item levels just starting the game, you have to learn all these white mechanics, right? Think about it. Argos Final Gate actually has 3 different white mechanics for each phase. You have the rain phase, you have the night phase, and you have the day phase. And if people don't actually do these mechanics, it's a wipe. Same thing with Gate 2, and then same thing with Gate 1, right? Gate 1, you have to balance the buff. If someone attacks and cancels it, then it wipes 4 players. So that's actually why Argos buses are so popular amongst young players, is because when they go into the raid on item level with, like, you know, 2 engraving line, 3 engraving lines, they're encountering all these mechanics and certain people aren't doing it, you know, the random, then they just can't do it, right? And they're depending on bussing to progress. There's an extremely rare white mechanic during the night phase. No, it's not rare. It's common. It's just that you don't see the night phase anymore because your damage is so high. Like when you rotate into night phase, right, collecting the orbs of the white mechanic. During the rain phase, right, you have to break the orb and stand in it. Only in NA do they consider Argos difficult. It's not NA, it's like everywhere, right? Like it's a new player thing, boys. It's a new player thing. Basically, they're dumbing the game down again compared to KR. Well, God, they have the analytics and they have the numbers, so they're making adjustments to the game to make the game more approachable, which makes sense. Yeah, you can't be an elitist and be like, oh man, they're dumbing the game down. But if you're already clearing all the hard content, none of this content's changing for you. You already did it. Why do you care if the lower level content is a little more forgiving? To encourage more people to play the game. At this point, you're just being elitist. You're part of the problem on why new players aren't playing the game. Smilegate RPG research developing, also looking at applying similar changes to earlier Legion raids like Vulcan and Vicus. Not every white mechanic will be adjusted, considering their designation as top tier endgame raids. We'll make sure to share some detail on these changes when they're available. So yeah, they're basically just going to adjust the older raids that are considered farm now, which I'm perfectly fine with. That's the entry point for the raid, and a lot of new players are depending on buses to do these raids, and that's not fun, right? Like, hey, I want to play the game. In order to play the game, I have to pay Legalia gold to progress, right? So, and busing will probably still be prominent, right? Nothing's going to happen on busing, but that's a lot of players' solution to issue. It's like, just take the bus. Just take the bus, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think these are all good changes, making the older raids. Because when we get Algacia, which should be pretty soon, we're not going to be running Vicus anymore. Vicus is going to be gone because they're making changes to Algacia to make it like a gold earning raid. That's what we're going to get, right? So we'll be doing Clown, Brel, and Algacia. It's also making a statement we want everyone in Algacia committed to the game for longevity, free from the Vicus jail. Well, they said they're going to make some adjustments. They didn't say they'll adjust every white mechanic. They're not just going to make it a punching bag and you're just going to get free loot only. We don't know how much they're going to be adjusting it. With these changes, when they say they're going to help with honing, what do you think they're going to do? Increase like rates? So, you know, like when you level up your gear, you might have like a 5% chance. They could double the rates. They could reduce materials. They could increase the rate in which you reach pity. So yeah, you don't have to commit as much into an item to level up. There are a lot of things they could do. I don't know specifically what they're going to be doing, but they could be doing a lot. They could delete fusion materials. Yeah, that's another thing. But that also, like, fusion materials is a way for players to earn gold. A lot of people do life skills, and that's how they earn more gold per week. And life skills are actually really good for making gold. Just the majority of players ignore life skills in the game. They should update life skills at some point to be a little bit more fun. But yeah, a lot of the life skill stuff, you know, those are resources used for honing. With these changes, we hope every player on occasion can experience fun of trying out endgame raids. The funniest thing is Delo's sister played Lost Ark, and then she got banned by mistake when they did the big bot ban wave in June, and she tried to actually start playing the game again recently, and she was telling me about it the other day, and she said it was too much to catch up, and then she just gave up again. Because, well, you know, she's like your normal, like, you know, like weekend warrior gamer, right? She played every day after work, like, games, and she, like, played a bunch on the weekend, but she was like, yeah, just, it was taking her too long to catch up, so she gave up again. Having, like, a normie job and, like, other responsibilities and stuff, she said it was taking too long for her to catch up. Similarly, we know the community conversations surrounding daily are the hot topic. This is probably the biggest cause of burnout in Lost Ark. The raids in Lost Ark are top tier. The raids are so fun and enjoyable from my mind. The daily content, even your weekly content cubes, right? And they already did that cube update in Korea. Your Guardian raid, your Chaos dungeon, just like doing the Unas every day. It can get tedious and tiresome, but it's something you need to do in order to keep up with progression. You just can't ignore it. Or you could use your credit card, right? That's the other option. You could do dailies, or you could use your credit card, and that could be your daily. They have really been needing to address all these things that they're talking about. Chaos Dungeon, Guardian Raid, Unas, like either like a revamp. I remember even early on in Lost Ark, the original Chaos Dungeons were totally different. They were story mode missions, and you would do the story mode missions, and that was your daily or your weekly. That's what it was like before. Then they redesigned it at some point, and they made it into like ARPG style map. They're talking about daily content restructuring. Currently, these daily activities are critical to obtaining material necessary for gear progression and allow hardcore players to have something to earn every day. So reducing them is not a simple problem to tackle. We need more time to think about it, but we understand the repetitiveness of the content, and Smilegate RPG is undergoing internal research and development to discuss resolutions. Help cut down on the grind in the meantime, we'll introduce the Ebony Cube, a new activity that combined boss rush and hey, that was on my roadmap guess. Wait, where's my roadmap guess? I put cube combination. My May roadmap was Hell Clown, QL, little cube, little update stuff, boss rush and cube, July Aeromancer, Elgasia, and then I guess Slayer in September, and like Hell Carl, but we might get Hell Carl before that. And that was actually on my guest thing. I was right there. Poggers. So this is a really good change. This also means you are gonna have to run all of your cubes and all of your boss rushes. Well, that's what people did in Korea. They ran all of it. You got until May to run all of your cubes and all of your boss rushes to get shit done. And I remember ATK did like what was it called? A subathon or a streamathon to run his cubes and boss rushes. Further plans for reducing daily to confirm. We'll make sure to share in greater detail. Until then, QL updates like Ebony Cube will be implemented as fast as possible. Amazing. Now, content cadence in events. Oh, are they going to be talking about the raids and stuff? Okay, let's see what's going on here, boys. Elgasia Khan may be quicker than we expected. We know players have expressed some questions concerned with the current content release cadence. Catching up to the new endgame content is important to us and our players. But there's two problems with speeding up the process: localization timelines and player burnout. If content is localizing too quick, the overall quality may be compromised. Regardless of localization timelines, there's still the problem of having to digest too much content at the time, or constantly feel pressure to hit the next required item level. Related to the previously mentioned exhaustion, issue the new player catch-up mechanics. Our goal is to introduce content as fast as we can without having these problems occur. However, we know this is not satisfactory for players. Therefore, we promise that new class at least will be updated as soon as possible. Hey guys, my guess about new classes coming out quicker might actually be true. We might actually get Slayer extremely soon. Same thing with Aeromancer. Hey, that would be sick. Or it would be sick just to get like class at the same time as Korea. You know, like Korea's like, hey, new class coming out, and we also get that new class. That would be dope. And then it'll allow people like Furycraft and come up with some builds and stuff like that. New content Legion raids have to be updated in order, while classes don't have the same restrictions. We're excited to share the next 4-month roadmap with you next week and hope that you feel heard when the content plan is revealed. This might actually be right though, where we're gonna get Slayer in September. You think we're gonna get Aeromancer in May? We could definitely get Aeromancer in May. If we got Aeromancer in May, then June, August, Slayer could be true. Another piece of content we plan to integrate at a faster speed heading forward are in-game events. The events in our version have been mostly older events in Korea, which is an ideal. Heading forward, our teams at Amazon and Smilegate plan to introduce more events applied simultaneously across the versions. Oh wow, we actually get new events at the same time. Yeah, most of the time, yeah, we've just been getting like multi-year-old events and like getting like the old skins and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna be getting the events at the same exact time instead of them being delayed. Included events similar to the recent April Fool's event in Korea. Of course, some of them will be Western exclusive, and some will take place at the same time as Korea. Oh, wait, we're actually gonna get exclusive stuff? Yo, we're gonna get some exclusive stuff, Western exclusive stuff, and some will take place at the same time. This is cool, so we're actually gonna get stuff that Korea might not get. We will have a long way to go and understand that one letter isn't a magic band-aid or even a splendid elemental HP potion, but we hope this letter becomes the first step in our road for more open communication and positive changes to the game. To thank you for your ongoing support and dedication to Lost Ark, we prepared a gift for all players that'll be sent out alongside this letter. At the first time login reward, you'll find the following in your product inventory. Wait, what? New Makoko skin, Makoko pet, Makoko wakeboard, battle items, 1 million silver, relic reports, chests, and 50 peons. Hey, I love free shit. I was at the grocery store today, I got a free cookie, and now I get free peons. Today's my lucky day, boys. Free cookie and free peons. These items you can claim by anyone who logs in the game before May 19th. As we progress in 2023 and beyond, our first priority is you and the player Lost Ark. We plan to close the distance between you and our teams at Amazon and Smilegate RPG by taking one step at a time and interacting more with you. We'll see you again next week with the 2023 Roadmap Part 2, which has some exciting surprises. Thank you for the patience and dedication you have shown the past year. We'll continually strive to exceed your expectations. This is honestly the best community letter that they've ever had. They're addressing most, if not all, of the prominent issues in the game and complaints, and it seems like they're actively trying to make the game a lot better. This is actually a W post. I just hope it's not too late, right? Because what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna be making some good changes. Will those changes incentivize new players to start playing the game? And then even for longtime players, people that are continuing playing the game, like me and probably a lot of you guys, the thing that they're doing for progression, for like class release stuff, for events, for like raids and everything else, is absolutely amazing too. Like we're actually getting stuff quicker. They're gonna release class cadences. We might be getting exclusive stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the roadmap.